And everybody, we're thrilled to have you a part of our discussion today on how to escape the corporate nightmare. Um, Fun fact of the day, Samir and I love Britney Spears. Absolutely love Britney. I mean, like nobody's better. So, what we have today is a special conversation because throughout the week, if you're a recruiter, okay, you're having conversations with people about coming and joining your team, and you'll hear a lot of reasons. Okay, if you they all, I always heard Jim Rohn say, if I just can give enough reasons, and he meant excuses, to his mentor, it'll make him sound less dumb as to why he hadn't hit his goals yet in life. So you're going to hear a lot of reasons from people that you're prospecting throughout the week, that you're interviewing throughout the week. Okay. And the other side of things is, if you've already recruited them, the ones you're working with, you'll run into people that are going to give you excuses for why they can't be somewhere, why they can't do something. And the majority of the times, the one answer to every single one of their problems as to why they can't do or be somewhere is their job. And they don't even know it a lot of the times. They think it's, I'm busy. I got this with the family. I got this with my house. You know, I gotta clean the house. Don't even got time to clean the house. I gotta take the dog to the vet. I got all these things that they need to do are reasons on why they're so busy. When in reality, there's one big chunk blocking them off during their week from actually building a business that can pay them without them needing to work. And if you can properly articulate the evils of having a job, because it's true, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, jobs suck. Okay? Jobs suck. I know, like you may enjoy what you do. This is not just for the people on, but future people that'll watch on our YouTube channel. I know you may enjoy what you do, but if it's working for somebody else, there's too many limitations to justify staying there. There's too many limitations for your family. There's too many limitations for your bank account. There's too many limitations for exploring and traveling and seeing God's green earth. There's too many limitations. And we'll go over some of those, and you got to become a pro at articulating and communicating the nightmare of having a job. Because number one, if you yourself don't accept this, you can never become the type of recruiter that it's possible for you to become. You might even be able to become a double-digit recruiter. Okay, but it's going to be difficult to produce double-digit recruiters if you don't get really, really good at recruiting someone away from where they currently are. Right? There are two forms of motivation in this life. There's the carrot and there's the stick. Imagine if you were a donkey and you are pulling a carriage, okay? Your master can either dangle a carrot in front of you as motivation to pull the barrel behind you, or they could whip you with a stick. And generally, most people move their behinds with the stick motivation. Okay, it's out of discomfort. So you got to find reasons that make you uncomfortable about where you currently are, about having your own job, right? And then, you know, you internalize that, you can transfer that properly to a potential recruit / potential district leader. And the more district leaders that you can transfer that belief to, the faster you become a regional vice president. So, what is the corporate nightmare? The corporate nightmare is anything having a job, anything having to do with having a job. This is a living nightmare. Nightmares are generally happening in your sleep. But when you have a job, it's like being a nightmare while you're awake. Because number one, you don't have any control at all. Nothing. You control absolutely nothing. You don't control how you don't control how you or what you do while you're at work. You don't control, you know, when you're supposed to show up to work or when you're allowed to go home. My buddy yesterday, okay, I was supposed to give him a call for our flag football league, okay, that I helped sponsor. And he told me he gets out of work at 5. So I had a meeting at 5, and I called him when it was done at 6. And I called him, he said, "I can't talk, bro." And he starts whispering to me. I was like, "Dude, why are you whispering?" He's like, "I'm still at work. I can't talk right now. I gotta go." I was like, "What are you talking about? It's 6 o'clock. You said you were getting out at 5. I know, my boss asked me if I could stay another hour. Gotta go. Boom. And then he calls me back later last night, explaining why he stayed an extra hour, because he wants to get a promotion, so he has to look good in front of his boss. And number 2, he wants some extra overtime money. I was like, what the heck? You know what overtime is? It's called a max case. That's get a max case. That's called overtime right there. And I just couldn't believe it, because this guy is at someone else's, some other man or woman's beckoning call, basically. You have no control over anything when you have a job. And even if you have control over something, you may feel as though you don't have control, like my friend, because I got to impress someone else. Because my upward mobility is in the hands of somebody else. My promotion is in the hands of somebody else. You don't control your income when you have a job. When you interview with a job, they tell you, it's so funny. There's like a line that you fill out, like expectations for income or something. I honestly can't remember like how it goes, but I know there's a line that has to do with annual salary, and it's like negotiable or something. If it were negotiable, you could go up to the hiring boss and say, "Boss, I know the normal income for this position is $60,000 a year, but," and then proceed to sell yourself, okay, and negotiate $100,000. That's a $40,000 window that you can sell yourself up to, but it's never going to happen at a job. Never. Because it doesn't allow for it to happen at a job. Revenue minus expenses equals profits. Something that we always say in the cash flow quadrant. A job was never designed for an employee to win. Only the employer. Okay? They earn higher profits. That's why it says profits over wages. Profits are better than wages because you can earn much larger chunks in way less time by leveraging other people's time. You can't do that when you're an employee. Your time's being leveraged. And the revenue minus expenses equation is keeping you in a little box that you cannot get out of. Because the harder you work, okay, it has no proportionate value to the money you make. That is why they call it the rat race. Because it's like you're on a hamster wheel running faster and harder, and you are going nowhere. You're just running faster in the same spot. There's no job security. Listen, this is the best thing you could ever say to a person that thinks they're that coming to Primerica is a risk to their job, because they think working on commission or running their own business is a big risk. And when in reality, having a job, okay, job security, this is what you say. Job security is the biggest oxymoron in the world. That's what you tell them. It's like saying, look at that small giant. Right? That doesn't make sense. Right? Look at that fat person in shape. That doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. So job security is like that. Right? Hey, pal, you're only as secure as your immediate supervisor's emotional stability that day. That's another thing that you can say. You're only as secure as your immediate supervisor's emotional stability that day. We got that from John Hopkins, right? Shondell? Right? That's his name? That's his name?
Tom Hopkins.
Tom Hopkins. Okay, look, that's why I didn't want to get his name wrong. Okay. So it's just, you never forget stuff like this. So that's that. How true is that? 20 million people lost their jobs last year. 20 million. You call that job security? People think that they're okay working at GameStop right now. Give it 2 years, 2 freaking years, and they're gone. Like Blockbuster, like Circuit City, like Borders. They are expendable. You have become obsolete. Wait a second. Okay, that was the right word. You have become obsolete. You are no longer necessary in the marketplace because we've figured out a better way to do what you were doing. Bye-bye, job gone. Okay, standard of living gone. You have no ownership. What is ownership? I had this conversation with one of my recruits late last night, like at 10 o'clock at night. Because he called, he's like, Josh, are you a night owl? I'd like for you to explain to me how to become an RVP making $20,000 a month. And I said, you don't got to tell me twice. I was in there in 5 minutes at 10 p.m. last night, explaining to him the beauty of RVP. And one of the beauties is ownership. For your notes, ownership is a end to the cost and a continuation to the benefit. That is ownership. That's the best thing that you can define, the best way you can define ownership. So for example, we don't want to rent, we'd rather pay a mortgage on a home, because if we rent, there's no end to that cost. You will always have to rent. But if you get a mortgage, the idea is I could pay monthly towards my mortgage, pay down the debt. I finally paid off my debt. I own the home. My cost has ended. The continuation of the benefit of living in that house remains. It continues. Same thing with a car. I can pay off my car, the cost ends, and the benefit of driving that car around continues. Yet the one thing that pays for all of that stuff, we rent out, which is your ability to earn income. You go and you get a job and you rent yourself out in weekly or bi-weekly increments. There is no end to the cost of having a job, and this is for training. This is not, I wouldn't say this to a client, but for you guys that want to achieve wealth, ownership, passive income, that you can, generational wealth, I must say to you that there is no end to the cost of having a job, and no, having a 401k does not count. Living off the benefit of a 401k does not count. Okay? Building an asset that produces passive income. What is passive income, Joey? Well, it's when you can leave for the entire month of February like Samir did, and $20,000-$30,000 still comes in. That's passive income. Would you like that, Mr. Recruit? Okay, it's never going to happen at your job. If you go to your boss tomorrow and ask, boss, what's up with the ownership? When's that coming? What's up with the passive income? Huh? Boss, when's the passive income coming? When can I expect that? Answer, never. No advancement opportunity. Your advancement is in the hands of someone that's not you. Here comes my annual review. Okay, I've worked 4 times harder than everyone around me and gotten 4 times the results. So I should get 4 promotions, right, boss? No, actually, we're not in line for any promotion this year around, because we've already promoted the guy ahead of you, and we can only afford to promote, meaning increase someone else's salary. There you go. You're no longer necessary. We can't afford to increase your salary. Why? Because revenue minus expenses equals profits, and we need our profits to continue growing, not your salary, Joey. We need our profits to grow. So I know you've gotten 4 times the results, but you're going to have to wait 1 more year around. 1 more year? What? I'm not getting any younger. I got kids. I got a spouse. I have goals. Sorry, Joey. Your goals don't grow our profits. No advancement opportunity. Okay, and if you do get a raise, it's not really feasible to your lifestyle, right? I mean, my boy, that same boy that I was talking about, my boy just got a $10,000 raise for his promotion. Okay, that's the equivalent of $800 a month, $400 a week, and after taxes, it's $400 a paycheck. After taxes, it's like $300 a paycheck. That is an extra $300 for 80 hours of his time traded. If you guys ever traded food at the lunch table in elementary school, okay, you would go to your friend and say, "Want to trade?" And if you didn't have something that was in their eyes worth it to trade for their snack or better, your friend was not about to give you their snack at lunchtime, because it wasn't a fair trade. Yet somehow it's okay, and we jump for joy with a $10,000 a year raise. As if that's a comparable trade, a fair trade for 80 hours of our lives. Hey, don't you know that my friend is now being asked more of his 80 hours because he got a promotion, right? So if you do get a raise, it's 1 to 2% for the rest of your life, and it's not every year. Here in Primerica, Mr. New Recruit, you could give yourself a 100% raise. Guess how often? Every single year. Hey, some people give themselves that kind of raise every 6 months here. What if you could give yourself 100% raise every 6 months? And you go before the board of advisors and you give yourself a 6-month review, okay? The only difference between your job and here is, guess who is the board of advisors? You are. And I doubt you're gonna deny yourself 100% raise, Mr. New Recruit, okay? There's no time to do anything when you have a job, ever. Hey, I got this new recruit, this potential new recruit. Joey says to, or better yet, Joey's recruit says to Joey, "I got this new recruit." And Joey's like, "Oh, okay." Let's say she's already trained. Joey has a district leader, right? Joey's like, "Okay, great. I can't wait to hear about how the interview goes." "Oh, Joey, I can't do it. The only time they can meet is at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Thursday." "Oh, why can't you do it?" "Joey, come on, you know why." No, just say it, because I want to hear you say it." "Because I have a job, Joey." "Oh, okay. All right, cool. I got you. I'll do it." See, I just wanted to hear them say they have a job, because if they really wanted to, have freedom, they'd work themselves out of the job, right? I got my friends, but all my friends on my football team have jobs, not me. I'm the only one. And so I'm like, "Hey guys, who wants to link up?" "Sorry, I can't." "Why?" "I gotta work." "Oh, can you ask your boss?" I literally asked my friend today, because we're supposed to meet, "Can you get off of work? Can you ask your boss just to get off 1 hour earlier?" They told me, "Sorry, Josh, that's not how it works." I was like, "What the hell? He can't give you an hour break? Come on, boss, give me a break." "Sorry, Josh, that's not how it works." It's like, that's crap. You have to ask permission. That's the other thing. You have to ask permission for things. You got to ask permission to go on vacation. "Hey, boss, my son has a game tonight." "Why?" "Because it's basketball season. It's the fall and basketball just started up. And he just gave me his schedule, and it actually kind of conflicts with the schedule you gave me, boss. Can I leave 2 hours early so I can beat the traffic and make it there on time to the basketball game?" "Sorry, your son's schedule conflicts with revenue minus expenses equals profits, okay? And it's not going to work out for you. If you want 2 hours extra out, you have to go work somewhere else, because we can't do it." No, 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 please, boss. I love the job security. I need the job security. Oxymoron. Oxymoron. Let's highlight the second part of that word. If you believe in job security, right? Hourly versus hourly wage. Okay, profits over wages. I'm trying to finish this. Hurry up and finish this. Hourly versus and salary wages are the devil. Okay, because you can't get to the point of wealth and savings as fast as you need to get there. I asked Bruce Kalk the other day, okay, what is it like to make $1.5 million a year passively since 1996? Can you turn that off, please? Thank you. He said, long story short, it's like having $100 million in the bank. Okay, and now there's math involved in that, but it's true. I was like, oh my gosh. The business that pays, the Primerica business that pays him 1.5 a year without showing us like having $100 million in the bank. So what did I do? Like the math nerd, money nerd, I'm the money nerd that I am, okay? I said, if I had a job paying $100,000 a year, which people think that's like the pinnacle, 100 grand a year is nothing, first of all, when someone's making 100 grand a month. I said, how many years would I have to work? Okay, after taxes, I really only make 80 grand a year. How many years would I have to work to save $100 million? Okay, divided by 80,000, I'd have to work 1,250 years to get to the point where Bruce Kalk and his family is. I don't have, that's almost when Jesus Christ walked the earth. I don't have 1,250 years to work and save $100 million. That's why hourly and salary wages won't cut it for you and your family. You can't leverage other people's time. Okay, that's a training in itself. I'm just going to skip over that. And there's no overrides for training other people. Hey, Joey, you ever train someone else at your job? Yes, thumbs up. Yes. Who else? Jeff, you ever trained anyone else at your job ever? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Jada, you ever trained someone at your job? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Now thumbs down. Okay. If you do not receive perpetual income once they're thoroughly trained and out of your hands. Okay. Joey, thumbs down. Jada, thumbs down. Jeff, thumbs down. Okay. So we train somebody else for another company. Okay. We do all the work and there's no continuation to the benefit. Who receives the continuation to that benefit? Your bosses, the founders, the owners, right? Okay, not you and your family, but Mr. and Mrs. New Recruit. You can do that in Primerica. You can do exactly what you're doing at your job right now, no different. Train somebody, and you get to continue making money when they go produce and do their job. You don't do that at your job. See, can you see why it makes no sense in my head why you would continue to do that at your job when I have trained so many people and they keep paying me? Do you see, like, they just keep paying me? I got an override last night for $150. That's nothing compared to the override Samir got last night, which was $1,000. Right? I mean, but I didn't have to work for that. Samir didn't have to work for that. And finally, guys, here's a picture for you guys to see what the corporate nightmare looks like. When I see that, I'm literally like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like I'm petrified. That right there is the reason why you guys don't have time and freedom. Look at all that. See, imagine what you could, if you're killing it part-time in this business, imagine what you could do if your schedule looked like this. This right here is freedom. This right here is overrides. This right here is asking permission to nobody ever again. This right here is a continuation to the benefit and an end to paying the price. Imagine that if this were your schedule. Do whatever the hell you want. Whenever you want. With whoever you want. At all times. And money was never an issue. What could you do? What kind of business could you build? What kind of lifestyle could you have? Can you go back real quick? Or this. Or this. Appreciate you guys letting me share.